Alright, so here's the truth behind where Owen Hart was during the Attitude Era before he died. But I do definitely want to say, dude, people need to start giving AEW credit for honoring Owen Hart for a tournament. It's like people keep on praising him for this. I'm like, bruh, this is not a big deal. In fact, I don't like it because all they're doing is trying to spite the WWE. That's all they're doing. It's like this Martha chick, dog, she is supposed to hate wrestling. I thought she hated wrestling. So out of all the companies, she decides to want to work with AEW. Dude, this is totally to spite the WWE. Because they have been trying to honor Owen Hart for the past 20-something years. So don't be saying some bullshit like, oh, congratulations to AEW, they're doing something right by honoring Owen Hart. Bruh, you were trying to say that Vince has not been trying to honor this fucking man? They've been trying to put him in the Hall of Fame for 20-some years, man. They've been trying to put him on video games. They've been trying to produce merchandise for Owen Hart for the past 20-some years, man. So when it comes to AEW, they ain't doing shit. They are not doing anything special for Owen Hart that the fucking WWE would have done. They've been trying to do. Dude, this Martha chick is a bad person. Okay? Even her own brother-in-law, Bret Hart, don't fucking like her. Even he thinks, look, woman, you gotta get over this shit. It's been 20-some years, man. Owen Hart would have wanted you to fucking move the fuck on. So in hindsight, it's like his death has been in vain. It's like he hasn't really rested in peace. This dude would love to be in the Hall of Fame with his big brother, but his wife is not trying to allow it. So I don't like his wife. The legacy of Owen Hart would never rest in peace. He wants to be in the fucking Hall of Fame. Vader on his deathbed wanted to be in the fucking Hall of Fame to give his career some validation. We would never know because Owen Hart would never be in the fucking Hall of Fame because of his wife. But first of all, dog, how is that possible? How can she stop him from being in the Hall of Fame if he's dead? Like, bruh, you ain't Owen Hart. I mean, Vader dead. He's in the fucking Hall of Fame. And I'm sure his family had no say-so about it. I'm sure JYD's family didn't have no say-so about him being in the fucking Hall of Fame after death. So I don't get it. How can she stop him from being in the fucking Hall of Fame? I don't get it. It's his career, not yours. But, dog, AEW ain't doing shit. They ain't doing nothing, man. They're not praising him. All this is the spite. It's like, hey, Vince McMahon, look what we're doing. We are praising a guy that his wife won't allow you to praise him. And the fact that they are putting him in a fucking video game, it's like, bruh, by that logic, they might as well put Cody Rhodes in the fucking game because at least he wrestled for AEW. I don't get why is Owen Hart in the damn game. Now, it would be different if New Japan was trying to honor Owen Hart because at least he wrestled out there. That's different. He wrestled out there. So he has ties. He has history. If they were to make a tournament in his honor, that's different because at least he has ties to that country. But he has no ties to AEW. This is all for spite. That's why I don't support the fucking tournament. It's all for spite. Martha Hart could have easily done this in a WWE if she wanted to. So no, I don't. Fuck that tournament. Fuck that tournament. I don't support it. It's all to spite Vince. That's all it is, man. There's no honor to it. All it is to spite Vince, and I don't fuck with it. That's childish. But this is where Owen Hart was during the goddamn Attitude Era. He was borderline X-Pac. Okay, it's like people need to stop doing this. After a guy dies, you want to put more notches on his belt as a legend, as a superstar that he really wasn't. It's like there's an old saying: don't give people their flowers after death. How about you give them their flowers while they're still alive so they can smell it? You keep on saying Owen Hart was this great wrestler. He was so great. He was so fucking influential. And he really wasn't. He had no influence on the business. 20 years later, when he was alive, he had no influence at all. It's like that's all y'all want. Y'all did this with Eddie G. Claiming he was an A+ player. Dog, he was not no A+ player. Guess what? When it comes to Eddie G, look, he is my favorite Mexican wrestler of all time. I don't think nobody's better. Eddie G is the greatest Mexican wrestler of all time. He's my favorite, but I'm not biased. Okay, this is not a biased channel. I ain't biased, bro. I speak the fucking truth. And yes, he was a B+ player. Actually, borderline C+ player. Borderline C+. Definitely B+, but borderline C+. He only had one damn world title reign. Look. Yeah, people were crying and happy after he beat Brock. But how come people barely mention the follow-up? You can make the argument Kofi Kingston had a better world title reign than fucking Eddie G. It's like just saying, oh, people were happy that Eddie G became world champion. People were celebrating it. Okay, then how come y'all wasn't give him that same support after the follow, after his fucking reign? Because look it up on Google. Now, I ain't lying about this. He was the worst drawing world champion during the Ruthless Aggression era. You can look it up. Go on Google right now. It's there. When it came to live attendance and TV ratings, he was not a good drawing champion. In fact, that hurt his mental health because he found that out. That's why he wanted to drop it. That's why he dropped the belt to JBL. Because he felt like he was a draw. And that was getting to his mental health. So, please, cut it out, man. Y'all want to glorify fucking Eddie G like he was Stone Cold or The Rock or John Cena. And yet, how come y'all wasn't supporting his ass when he was world champion? Maybe he could have had a longer reign if you was supporting him. But you wasn't. Once again, give people their flowers while they're alive, not after death. Because trust and believe, the fact that he was not drawing shit, that fucked up his head. Literally, Bruce Pritchard said it. He said once Eddie found out he was no draw, that fucked up his head. So where was your support at when he was world champion? How come you wasn't showing up to his shows, to his house shows? How come he wasn't watching SmackDown when he was on there, trying to be a great world champion? Hence why he had a short reign. Where was your support at then? Now after death, it's like, man, Eddie G, he was a GOAT. He was top 10, top 5 all time. I'm like, bruh, where was that support when he was alive on fucking SmackDown? It's like, yeah, you was happy once he beat Brock, but you got bored with him after he beat Brock. Y'all dumbass did the same thing to Kofi and Daniel Bryan. You want to cry and cheer once they finally make back Giant. Then after, you get bored with their follow-up. You get bored with their reign. Because you feel like, okay, they already accomplished the goal. What is there to cheer about? Well, if you was always a fan, your cheering shouldn't stop. Your support should not stop. If you are a true, real fan of that wrestler. So don't give me that bullshit. You was not supporting Eddie Guerrero when he was alive like that. Like, chill out, bro. If y'all was on Team Eddie Guerrero, he would have been a multiple-time world champion. He would have had a longer reign. In fact, JBL would have never been a world champion if y'all would have gave fucking Eddie G more support. He would have had a longer reign. It would have never gone to fucking JBL. So it's your fault, actually. It's literally, look, how's this hindsight? It's literally his fan base fault that Eddie Guerrero had to drop the title because he wasn't even giving the support when he was world champion. So fuck off. Shit, dog, fuck this shit about giving dudes their flowers after death. It's like, bro, who cares? Like, they're not here to hear your support. It's like, bro, dog, give them love while they're still here to hear it. Dog, get the fuck out of here. But when it comes to comes to Owen Hart, dog, he was borderline X-Pac during the goddamn during the late 90s. He was borderline X-Pac. That's how boring he was. Dude, he was floundering in the mid-card after the whole late 90s. Dude, you can make a huge argument that after he broke the neck of Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's when his push just went down the drain, man. Once he broke the neck of Stone Cold, he became a mid-card lifer. He was never a top guy ever again after he broke his neck. I don't know if that was punishment or that was just a huge coincidence, but after he broke his neck, Owen was a mid-card guy. Like, they did not put him in no fucking main event. Bro, dog, as a singles, I don't ever remember Owen Hart being in any main events during the late 90s. From 97, 98, I don't remember him being a fucking main eventer. Dude, when I was a kid watching him, I didn't feel like he was special. Now, look, he was talented as fuck, but I didn't feel like he was, life-changing special. I didn't feel like he was a top guy. I always seen him as the little brother of Bret Hart. Dude, how can you say he was so influential? Like, bro, half of y'all wasn't even born during the late 90s, man. How can y'all support a guy that y'all wasn't even alive to actually watch him wrestle? That's weird to me. It's like, bro, you don't know him. I know him, but you don't. I watch him every week. He didn't move me. He was a mid-card guy. He was X-Pac, really. That's what he was. In fact, fucking X-Pac was more successful than Owen Hart during the late 90s. Look it up. He won more championships than Owen Hart during the late 90s. How was that for fucking irony? Dude, Owen Hart was floundering in the mid-card, man. So the only reason y'all hype him up because of his last name. That's all. Because of his last name, y'all put more notches on his belt because of his last name. If his name was Owen Smith, bruh, we wouldn't know who he is today. He will be known as just, a dead wrestler that had an accident. But the fact that he's a Hart, we want to make a big deal out of him. But y'all wasn't pushing for Owen when he was alive. Y'all was not checking for Owen Hart when he was alive. Stop it. This dude was floundering. This dude went from the Hart Foundation as a heel with his brother Pillman and Bulldog. He went from that. He went to the Nation of Domination. Then he got paired up with Jeff Jarrett. Dude, too many people disrespect Jeff Jarrett because when he was tag team partners with Owen, bro, he was more over than Owen. Actually, he was the main attraction on that team. It wasn't Owen. It was Jeff Jarrett that was the main attraction. Yeah. They were good. They were tag team champions. But the main attraction was to get over Jeff Jarrett. That was the goal. The goal was to put him over, to make him a bigger heel. That was Owen's job. Owen's job was to help out Jeff Jarrett. So cut out the bullshit, man. Owen Hart was a mid card guy. Now look, I ain't saying that that's a bad thing, but you guys are trying to put him over like he was Shawn Michaels. Like what? Like no. Like no way. It's like, especially when he was in the nation of domination. He was just another guy. He was D-Lo. He was Godfather, man. He was just another guy. He was a mid-card dude hanging out with the feature main eventer, The Rock. He was just another guy. It's like, remember when, okay, let's talk about Lashley. Where was Lashley at before MVP? He was nowhere. He wasn't doing shit. He wasn't doing a damn thing before MVP. He was floundering. He was mid-card. He was nowhere near a match with Brock Lesnar. He was nowhere near it. That was Owen Hart. Owen Hart was Lashley, before Lashley, in terms of the fact that he was going nowhere on the card. Even though he was talented, he was going nowhere. Do I hate when people say, oh, that was his fault? Dog, it's been 20-some years, man, and y'all dumbasses are still saying it's not this guy's fault. It's not Sasha's fault. It's not Roman's fault. It's not Seth Rollins' fault. It's not Ricochet's fault. Right? That's all y'all say is, oh, it's not the wrestler's fault about creative. Dog, how long are y'all gonna say that? How could y'all say that during the fucking late 90s when every mid-card guy was special? Every mid-carder had a story. Literally. Steve Blackman, Val Venus, Godfather, Hawker Holly. All of them were mid-carders who had a story every week. The Big Boss Man had a storyline. Al Snow had a fucking storyline, bitch. So don't plug in creative back then to what it is now. That's fucking stupid. That means you're lazy. You don't know shit about wrestling then. You can't compare the late 90s creative to this era's creative. That's stupid. No, man, you're just lazy. You don't know shit. You are too young to even know anything. Yes, it was partially Owen Hart's fault why he was a mid-card guy. He was boring. Let's just be real. He was boring, man. He was not Bret Hart. How come nobody was pushing for Owen Hart to join WCW? That was weird. So Bret Hart walks to WCW, but nobody said, hey, Bret Hart, how about you bring your brother? No, nobody was pushing for Owen Hart to join him. Nobody was. See, y'all don't know that. Nobody was pushing for Owen Hart to join his brother in WCW. You know why? Because the fans weren't really into him. They were not. Look, that's facts, man. They were not into him. Go back and watch those shows, man. Get on the fucking network. Watch a regular episode of Raw, of Raw's War, bruh. The crowd didn't really care about him. The crowd did not care about him like that. They had respect for him because he was a Hart, but they did not fuck with Owen like that. Dude, he was lost. Like, bruh, he was in 3 factions. He was in 3 factions during the late 90s, man. That's how lost he was. He was going nowhere. It's like, yeah, he had good matches, but you need more than that. That's all y'all know for him is him saying nugget and him saying enough is enough and it's time for a change. That's all y'all know about him. Like, seriously. That's all y'all can remember about Owen Hart. That and his feud with Bret Hart. That's it. That's all y'all remember. Now, when he became the Blue Blazer, dog, I remember like it was fucking yesterday. It was because he was lost. He was lost on the card. Was lost in the fucking mid card. Becoming the Blue Blazer was his last resort on trying to be relevant, on trying to stay on the card. He was borderline pushing Sunday Night Heat territory. That's how bad it got for him. Because once Jeff left, once Brett left, once the Nation of Domination broke up, bro, where was Owen Hart going to go? Seriously, where was he going to go? Nowhere. So becoming the Blue Blazer was his last resort on trying to be over, on trying to get over. He was trying to reinvent himself, but not as a Hart, but as the fucking Blue Blazer. See, dude, that's how lost he was. That gimmick was his last resort on trying to get over. That's how bad it got. It's like, dude, when it comes to Owen Hart versus X-Pac, right? I'm sorry, man. X-Pac was more over, man. I'm sorry. Look at those shows during the late 90s. X-Pac was more over, man. He had more matches on pay-per-views, man. Those are facts. I'm not lying. Those are facts, man. He was more over. He was in better storylines. Yes, you could make a serious argument X-Pac was better than Owen Hart. How can you deny that? He won more championships. He was in bigger storylines. Hell, he had better tag team partners. Shit. So yeah, that is a serious fact we should consider. So my point is, bro, he was going nowhere on the card. Every week when I was watching him as a kid, I was very young. Every time I watched him, I was like, oh, cool, it's Owen Hart. Oh, okay, whatever. Who's he? I was like, okay, whatever. Who's he facing? Like, I never went crazy for him. But when it came to like a Bret Hart, yeah, he's different. I was a huge fan of him when I was a kid. Because he had more substance than Owen. I was cheering for Bret Hart, but not Owen Hart. Owen Hart was just, he was just there. He was a brother, Bret Hart. It's dude. When it came to his whole career, he was always paired up with somebody. See, nobody tells you that, bro. He was always paired up with somebody. Whether it was Coco Beware, the British Bulldog, Jim Cornette, Yokozuna, the Nation of Domination, Jeff Jarrett, the Hart Foundation. Bruh, he was always paired up with somebody. I'm not saying he was like Adam Cole, but it was kind of going to that level. The fact that why is Owen Hart always paired up with somebody to get him over? Now look, man, he was a great wrestler. He was talented. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But the fact that his damn wife don't want him there, even though his big brother wants him there, dog, I can't support AW for giving him his own term. But dog, it's out of spite. It comes from a bad heart. It comes from a bad intention. You're doing it to piss off Vince, and that's fucking childish. But I do remember his time with Jeff Jarrett, man. Jeff Jarrett got that team over. It wasn't Owen Hart. It was Jeff Jarrett. No, I don't know why people disrespect Jeff Jarrett. He might go down as the most underappreciated wrestler of all time. He had a great resume. Great guy when it comes to his skills in the ring. He won championships. Okay, yeah, he was a mid-card guy in the WWE, but he was a main eventer in TNA. He was a main eventer in WCW. So why does he get so disrespected? It's like, I would never get that. It's like, people's like, dude, I blame the fucking internet neckbeards. I've always been a fan of Jeff Jarrett. I don't see the big deal about why do we hate Jeff Jarrett. I don't hate him. Shit, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't hate him. Shit, I still have his fucking action figure that I bought in the late 90s. So I don't know why these neckbeards hate Jeff Jarrett. I don't get it. It's strange. But the point is, look, man, you can support Owen Hart. I don't care. I'm just saying we shouldn't be making a big deal out of Owen Hart being celebrated by AEW. Like, why? It's out of spite. Look, the bottom line is he was a mid-card guy. Not a fucking main eventer. Look, dog. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Dude, Chris Benoit has a bigger influence on wrestling than Owen Hart. I'm gonna say it again. Chris Benoit has a better influence on wrestling than Owen Hart. Still to this day, people are doing headbutts. They are doing cross faces. They are doing multiple fucking German suplexes. Dude, Kurt Angle stole moves from Chris Benoit. Nobody is stealing moves from Owen Hart. He didn't invent nothing. Dude, Owen Hart got all his moves from fucking Bret Hart. So what did he influence? He had no influence. Fucking Eddie G still has a big influence on wrestling. Still to this day. Still, people are still doing his moves, doing his taunts. Nobody is stealing shit from Owen Hart, man. People on the AEW roster don't even know who the fuck he is. I mean, so what are we talking about here? Yes, Chris Benoit has a bigger influence on wrestling than Owen Hart. Listen, I'm done.